20 behind the scenes secrets from everyone's favorite festive movie, It's a Wonderful Life. When the Christmas season arrives, there are few things better than snuggling down with your loved ones to watch a festive movie. And it could be argued that It's a Wonderful Life is the best of them. Before you ready yourselves in front of the screen, though, you might want to keep these behind the scenes secrets in mind. They're pretty cool. Number 20. Uncle Billy's Farewell. Remember the scene where Uncle Billy makes a commotion outside George's pad? Well, as it turns out, the noise was actually caused by a production person's clumsiness. Some kit slipped out of their hands and crashed to the ground. So it wasn't Billy who cried out, "I'm all right, I'm all right." It was one of the film crew. I'm all right, I'm all right. Capra didn't cut it though, and the guy actually earned a small bonus for his part. Number 19. Jimmy Stewart knew his on-screen mom very well. Certain actors seem to cross paths all the time, but Stewart and Beulah Bondi had a very unique on-screen bond. Why is that? Well, Bondi had portrayed his mother on 3 occasions prior to It's a Wonderful Life, with the festive classic marking the 4th. Then they did it again in the Jimmy Stewart show, The Identity Crisis. What a run! Number 18. It's based on a short story. Like a lot of movies, the idea behind It's a Wonderful Life came from a short story. Yes, it can be traced back to a Philip Van Doren Stern tale titled The Greatest Gift. But he had real trouble getting it published at first. In fact, the author's first distributed version of the narrative was actually as a lengthy Christmas card in 1943. It only became a book 12 months later. That's quite a journey. Number 17. The pool party was real. While talking to the Fox News website, movie historian Jeremy Arnold shed some light on one of the more memorable sequences from the film. He said the swimming pool scene, where the floor of the high school gym opens up to reveal a swimming pool underneath and everyone falls in or jumps in, that was real. It's still there at the Beverly Hills High School. Number 16. It had a secret rewrite. As anyone in Hollywood will tell you, screenplay rewrites aren't that uncommon. All the same, It's a Wonderful Life is a pretty special case. Officially, the script was put together by 3 different people, which included director Frank Capra. But famed writers such as Dalton Trumbo, Dorothy Parker, and Clifford Odets actually gave it a secret polish too. That's some lineup, right? Number 15. An agent sold the story for big bucks. Before The Greatest Gift became a book, a Hollywood agent got their hands on the story in its Christmas card form. As for what happened next, Arnold informed Fox News they wound up selling it to RKO for, I believe, $10,000. Given the beloved status of It's a Wonderful Life now, that was money well spent. And let's be honest, a nice little earner for the agent too. Number 14. The product placement. For those of you who watch It's a Wonderful Life every year, you have to ask, do you ever notice all the product placement in the movie? Mr. Gower's shop is packed. Look afresh and you'll spot heaps of stuff, including Bayer aspirin, Coca-Cola, and Vaseline in there. Plus, a sweet Caporal cigarette poster prompts George Bailey to speak to his dad. Number 13. It was Donna Reed's breakout moment. In the early part of Reed's career, she racked up plenty of acting credits. But It's a Wonderful Life was her first leading performance, as she took on the character of Mary Hatch. After that, Reed went on to establish herself on the big and small screen, enjoying nearly 40 years in the spotlight. Number 12. The story's darkness appealed to Frank Capra. Following World War II, Frank Capra felt drawn towards one aspect of the tale's narrative. Arnold told Fox News, the darkness of the story was something he thought was appropriate and interested him to explore. Ironically, we remember the film for its lightness and joy, but it was this darkness that attracted Capra to it. 11. The inspiration behind Bedford Falls. Bedford Falls is one of those movie locations that you'd love to be a real place. The on-screen community took its name from 2 spots in New York, Bedford Hills and Seneca Falls. Here's the thing though. The second town has asserted itself as the de facto equivalent of Bedford Falls. There's a website and everything. Number 10. Carl Switzer has an uncredited cameo. We don't know about you, but we love spotting uncredited cameos in films. They can be pretty cool. It's a Wonderful Life has one of its own. In the famous swimming pool scene, the guy that unveils the hidden natatorium is portrayed by none other than Carl Switzer. Yes, the Little Rascals Alfalfa. Number 9. Bert and Ernie. Before the names Bert and Ernie became synonymous with a pair of puppets, they belonged to two characters in It's a Wonderful Life. So is there a connection? Apparently not. Arnold informed Fox News, "That's a rumor that's been dispelled by the makers of Sesame Street many times. One of the Hensons clearly said no, and it's just a coincidence." Number 8. Smashing the old Granville house window. Remember the scene where Reed's character Mary smashes one of the windows at the old Granville house with a stone? Well, that was all her. Yeah, the actress showed pinpoint accuracy to shatter the glass in the very first take. There was no need for the effects department to step in. Talk about skill. Number 7. Donna Reed's daughter is named Mary. Following the release of It's a Wonderful Life, Reed went on to have a little girl several years later. Her name is Mary Owen. And we know what you're thinking. Don't get too excited though. As Owen came clean to the Mental Floss website, she revealed, "I was named after my great-grandmother, Mary Mullinger." Oh well. Number 6. Sequel plans. Back in 2013, two producers named Bob Farnsworth and Alan J. Schwab unveiled plans to create a follow-up to the 1946 classic. But Paramount quickly stepped in. A representative from the studio told Variety magazine, "No project relating to It's a Wonderful Life can proceed without a license from Paramount." To date, these individuals have not obtained any of the necessary rights. Number 5. An alternative rescue. In one of the film's flashbacks, young George Bailey rescues his sibling by pulling him out of some water. Yet the sequence was much harsher than that in the script's initial draft. You see, Harry was set to be chased by attack dogs in that version before the switch was made. Number 4. Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed's chemistry. Regarding Stewart and Reed's relationship in the movie, Arnold outlined its importance to Fox News. He said, "The connection that they forge and the screen chemistry that they gave is remarkable, and it's easy to take for granted. If we didn't feel the connection he has with Mary, really the story wouldn't work." We have to agree. Number 3. The Hotel Clarence. In a film full of memorable characters, Henry Travers Clarence is one of our personal favorites from It's a Wonderful Life. But did you know that the lovable guardian angel has a hotel named after him? Yep, you'll find the building in Seneca Falls. It was first established in 2009, so it's a recent addition. Number 2. It was shot in a heat wave. The shooting schedule for It's a Wonderful Life was surprisingly brutal on everyone thanks to the weather. You see, the production coincided with a summer heat wave in 1946. That explains why Stewart's George Bailey appears to be perspiring in certain sequences. He was genuinely roasting on the set. Number 1. The set was huge. To say that the Bedford Falls set was impressive would be a major understatement. It still puts plenty of film productions to shame. This massive space covered more than 4 acres and housed over 70 buildings. Plus, the whole thing was constructed in just 2 months. That's an amazing effort, right?